Hello chess friends, and welcome to Azalo's chess channel, and welcome to my series How to Spot Chess Tactics. So in this series we basically ask ourselves, when is it possible to create tactical shots? When is it possible to give up maybe our knight for a pawn, our queen for a knight, maybe a rook for two pawns, and similar ideas? Well, it's really important to recognize our tactical possibilities in a chess game, because as I said in my previous videos, when you solve these chess puzzles at home, well, someone basically told you that there are tactical possibilities. In our own games it's really hard sometimes to recognize the tactical possibilities, and in this series I think we'll improve our tactical awareness here, because here we'll see this common patterns that can happen in a chess game, in which you really should recognize your tactical possibilities. And as I said, it's not always possible, so be careful while using these patterns, because it's not always possible. But here we use this pattern at least to consider the option to create tactical shots, because sometimes I go home after a chess game and then analyze my game, and I had completely winning like 20 moves ago, and I didn't recognize the possibility that I had some tactical motifs, and I'm really angry then after that, because I should saw really this important move and I didn't see it. So this series it also helps me because I search for nice examples to show you this pattern recognition. And today we'll do this more attackers than defenders situations. This is now important pattern, because it happens often that while playing chess you have more attackers than defenders. So every time when you see this position in which you have maybe 4 attackers against your opponent's 2 defenders, you should really search for tactical ideas like pawn breakthroughs, maybe space clearance ideas, maybe some demolition of pawn structures, and many more of this chess tactics that I've explained in my chess tactics and chess puzzle series. So I'll show you the link at the end of this video of this other series with this common tactical motifs that can happen in a chess game. And let's see now this more attackers than the defender situation. Here is a game. You see we have now the knight and the queen, which are 2 attackers against 1 defender, the knight on f6. So we have also which you have to recognize, we have a very nice pin here by the queen on the knight. The knight is really stuck here on the square f6, and now the best move is knight on h5. So see, if you retreat with your king, of course you will lose material, you will lose the knight and probably the game. So here g takes h5 has to be played, queen on g5, we have king on f8, queen on f6. Here rook on g8 has to be played because the rook was under fire, rook on d1, and here king on e7 maybe, but now rook on d5 with the preparation to play rook on e5. So here maybe queen on b8, but now after rook on e5, if the king moves here on d7, then we have rook on e7, and if the king moves here on c8, we have a very nice checkmate on f5 followed by queen on d7. So if the king moves here on f8, then you have queen on h6, the rook has to cover, but now we create another pin here with the move rook on g5, and again black will lose some material, and in the end the game, of course. So let's go back here, this very important move knight on h5. Here we created this very nice demolition of the pawn structure, tactical motif, because it's really forced line black has to take, and we use this more attackers than defender situation. We had this 2-on-1 situation which white really nice recognized here. So let's see now another example. Here it's a game played by Erno Gereben against Octavio Trionescu. Here you see white has 4 attackers. It's the bishop on e5, the queen on g5, the rook on f1, and the rook on h3. You have to recognize what is an attacker. An attacker is a piece which is really attacking the other side of our opponent's board. So here we have the rook, which is really occupying this open file, we have this rook on the f file, which is very nice on the semi-open file, supporting this very important f6 pawn, which is our main strategical idea. Here you see in this tactical motif we will have this mobile pawn on f6. This bishop is also very well placed because it's on a center square. The pieces are always best on the center square, so you see this bishop is really aiming on these diagonals, and the queen is also of course good here on g5. It's really the queen is really dancing around black's king. Here we have tactical possibilities here with the move queen takes on g6. So you see, again, we used all of our pieces in the attack. Here f takes g6 has to be played, and now f7, the queen has to take it. Now rook on h8, very nice checkmate. So you see, we had 4 attackers against 3 defenders. This bishop was aiming on this rook on h3, this rook was aiming on the bishop on e5, and the queen was on f8, which were 3 defenders against 4 attackers, and this queen on g6, of course a forced checkmate sequence here by white. Black couldn't handle the pressure with this activity of white's piece. So let's see another example. It's again a similar position. We have 4 attackers. We have the bishop, the 2 rooks, the queen against these 3 defenders, and again we should search for a tactical shot here. And again, I'm pointing out that these pieces by white are in really nice attacking formation here. They're really active. They can really go here on the g file, h file. The good thing about the queen is of course that the queen can also go here on h5 and then maybe liberate a square for the rook here. The rook on g3 can be followed. So you see many tactical possibilities are here, but how to find these tactics now? We should also watch what are our possibilities by opponent to defend himself. Well, one of the ideas could be maybe here the move f6 in order to simplify the position. Maybe here after e takes f6, then g takes f6, or maybe rook takes on f6, just to trade off some pieces on the square f6 and really simplify the position. But here white finds this very nice tactical motif, and it's called this blockade of the square. I've explained it also in my chess tactics and chess puzzle series. Very strong move, rook on f6. This rook on f6 really paralyzes now the whole defense by black. Black is basically helpless. If he tries maybe here c4 to attack the bishop, we have b takes c4, d takes c4, and now bishop on e4 attacking the rook. Here if you try g takes on f6, we have queen on g3, king on h8, but now queen on h4, and basically it's game over, because in the next move we can simply take out the pawn on h6 and then followed with rook on g3. Very nice checkmate. So if you try here after rook on f6, if you try g6, then you have bishop takes on g6, after f takes g6, rook takes on g6, and here after king on h7 you have simply queen on h5. Black is really forced now to give up his queen here for the rook. So again, white will continue the game with the winning endgame. So here, if you try d4 in order to attack the rook, you can play queen on e4. So you see, black liberated now this very important square for this queen. If you try now g6, then again rook takes on g6, f takes g6, queen on g6. If you try to cover with your queen here, queen on e6 with the check. If you try to cover, again rook on g3, king on h6, and now rook on queen on h6, and here very nice checkmate. So if you try here maybe to escape with the king with rook on d8, again queen on h5 with the preparation. Here g takes f6 can be played, but now again rook on g3, here king on f8, queen on h6, the king has to move here, and here very strong move, bishop on b5. You have to cover with some piece here, bishop on b5, and now rook on g8, and it's of course a checkmate here on f8. So if you try Immediately g takes f6, you see, as I said, you simply take out this pawn on h6, which is now the main weakness, and then after queen you have to play maybe just in order to prevent your opponent to checkmate you here. But now the main idea is, of course, rook on g3, and it's game over for black. If you try maybe f4 in order to prevent this rook on g3 idea, you get checkmated on h7. So you see, this works really fine. This more attackers than defender situation, you should really recognize them. When you have these pieces in attacking formations, in attacking shape, you should recognize your tactical possibilities, but be careful, sometimes it's not possible. So let's see now a gameplay by the legendary Mikhail Tal against Miroslav Filip. Here again we have a situation, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers against 2 defenders. This rook is really not a defender. This rook would be a defender if it would have been here on the square f8, and it would be perfectly fine if the rook was here on f8. Then Tal wouldn't have tactical possibilities, because black would be perfectly fine with this knight on g6 idea. But here Mikhail Tal played knight takes on f7, king takes on f7, and now queen on h7. e5 has to be played because we had a double threat by the bishops here on g7 and g6. So here rook takes on d8, rook takes on d8, now queen on h5. Black cannot play this move rook on h8 because we'll simply first take this knight with the check, and then after that the rook on h8. So here queen on e6 played by black. Now h3, important move, because black is trying here to trade off the queens. If the queens are off the board, of course, white doesn't have checkmate threats anymore, and it's game over for white. So that's why h3, very nice move by Mikhail Tal. Here bishop on c5 was played, now king on h1, bishop on d4, and now rook on d1 with the pinning situation on the rook on d8. Rook on d6 was played, but now bishop on a3. The rook moved here on a6, and now Mikhail Tal finds a very strong move. Rook takes on d4. After e takes d4, here we have bishop on d5 with the pin on the queen. Very, very nice move. Here, if you try rook on a3, then you have queen on f5. Black will lose now really too much material. After king on e7, you have bishop takes on e6. After bishop takes on e6, here queen on c5, and white will continue, of course, the game with too much material, and of course it's a completely winning endgame for white. So I hope you realize these ideas. When you see this pieces, when you have these pieces in really nice attacking formation, when you have the more attackers against defenders, you should really watch for tactical possibilities. But as I said, be careful, sometimes it's not present, sometimes it's not possible. Try to calculate it really deep, this particular sidelines. You have to see, like here Mikhail Tal, he probably calculated all of that, and that's why he was one of the best tacticians in chess history. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Meanwhile, you can watch my other chess tactics and chess puzzles videos, and you can also watch my pattern recognition videos, which I also created here from the series. We did so far this crowded situation, or this blocked out situation, and this lack of defenders. So see it, I think it's really nice combined with these videos, and we'll continue with this pattern recognition, in which you have to recognize tactical possibilities. And you can also watch my basics in chess series, in which I show you opening principles, middle game strategies, and the end game strategies. Thank you for watching, guys, and chess is the best, of course.